Organized conversations leading to universal consciousness. This is the type of stuff I'm into, alright? Make sure you tune in.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, Big City 101.3 FM. How you feeling? How you feeling? I am super fantastic. So I didn't get like my long-term morning meditation in, like waking up at 4 a.m., meditating, and then coming back to center. But I did go to hot yoga yesterday. And when I tell you, I feel so internally cleansed. And there's something about yoga alone. If you've never taken yoga, there's an actual term that I created called a yoga booty. So there's certain individuals in this world that just look like they have the perfect little, booty. But it's a yoga booty. I promise you, boo. If you've never taken yoga, that's what you need to do with your life. Absolutely. You will thank me later. And then the hot yoga, that heat, drawing all them toxins out of you, all of that nastiness out of you. I woke up, I feel so refreshed. I felt so amazing. And I did my little 1-2 thing on Thursday with Girls Trek. I did 10,000 something steps, which is like a first in a very long time for me. And then, of course, UC Boston helped out with a couple thousand steps. And then, I don't know, this whole weekend was like nonstop energy of just good vibes. My sister got married on Saturday. She is the first on my mom's side to get married in a long time. And it was beautiful to see the relationship. It was beautiful to see her happiness. It was beautiful to see the whole family there to just celebrate, love. With everything that's going on in the world, with everything that's going on in our own backyards, it was peaceful. It was really peaceful to see love being celebrated. And I urge all of you, if you are in a relationship, if you've been with that girl, and I'm saying girl because I'm still, I still am a gender roleist. If you have been with that woman for 3 years and you don't know whether or not you want to be with her, you don't know whether or not you want to put a ring on it, please leave her. After 3 years, I think y'all should have been new. Whether or not that is something you wanted to move forward with. And that's for, listen, ladies, if it's been 3 to 5 years and you still don't have a ring, you might want to walk away. And I don't mean a ring like a physical ring on the finger. I mean at least a promise that I am yours, you are mine. Let's do this thing forever, all time. Somebody got to have some sense. If y'all don't have it, I'm going to teach somebody today. Shout out to my uncle and my auntie. They've been married for, Lord have mercy, the longest. And I think that's where that foundation comes from in my life, to see our elders have a 50th anniversary, to have a 62nd anniversary. Like, that's a long time to be with somebody. And I know we have some listeners like, Taylor, you need to be with that polygamous lifestyle because black men were never supposed to be with one woman for the rest of their life. Ashe. Floating dorms. In major cities around the world, student housing is getting more expensive and less available. One fix: ditch the traditional housing altogether. The Danish startup Urban Rigger teamed with architects Birch Ingels to design a series of floating dorms, all made from recycled ship containers. The first, which opened in Copenhagen in September, contained 15 studio apartments, each with its own bedroom, kitchen, and bathroom. Rent is $600 a month, considerably less than other local offerings. Next up, a 24-unit complex in Sweden. Ingalls says that this approach could eventually be applied to refugee housing. Now, if you know anything about a Taylor Andre, you know that I'm a futurist, and there is a futurist that I follow that has been implementing this idea of floating cities. He's been, trying to sell this to society since the 70s when he was on Larry King. The 70s. It's called the Venus Project, I believe, and he's located out in Florida, and his name is Jacques Francisco. I butcher names, so that might be incorrect, but how smart and intelligent is this? California started, I don't know if you remember, about a year ago, I was telling you that people couldn't afford to live in San Francisco anymore. So they were living in shipping containers. And they were paying rent like it was a regular house, but it was a shipping container. Now, here in Sweden, in Copenhagen, they're talking about having this for dorms, having this for students. Could you imagine our students living, out in the bay? I have a couple students in South Boston just chilling in the water. Seriously, what about the homeless? The fact that the bridge was torn down. Have them in shipping containers. They don't need a bridge. They might need like a little ferry to get to. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. I'm just saying there are solutions to our problems. I read the story last week. I want to read it again about visiting hours. Mexicans connect with loved ones through the border fence in Tijuana on September 23rd. On weekends at a park in San Diego, the U.S. Border Patrol allows families separated by the border to pedestrian to walk for the 352 of its nearly 2,000 miles to talk and touch fingers and speak and say I love you. And I don't know how we're going to get through this because Donald Trump want to be president and he want to send all of us across the border, even when you're an American citizen. So let's talk while we can, baby, because I might be on that other side soon. Just a fun fact, 550 million, that is the time in hours spent every day globally by girls ages 5 to 14 years old on household chores, according to a report from UNICEF. Boys, by comparison, spend 440 million hours. This is every single day. Every day. And I don't, that number just was weird to me. And the fact that they could actually calculate the number of hours boys and girls actually spend on chores. Of course, it probably is a guesstimation because I can't imagine them sitting there counting all the damn hours. But really big idea. I think this is something that could be implemented here in Boston. Again, futurist. We need to start thinking outside of the box, and in some cases that means that outside of the country. Because here in America, we're the only inside the box thinking. We are small scale, baby. When you think about our T, our green line, when you think about our orange line and our red line, and we need to come offline and people have to get on buses because we have issues, but yet in other countries they have a monorail doing 750 miles an hour, we need to look outside the box. A glow-in-the-dark bike path. To keep themselves and pedestrians safe, bikers need to see where they are going, especially at night. But powering lights for a path could be complicated and very expensive. One solution is the new 320-foot or 100 meters stretch in northern Poland built by TPA. Its surface is embedded with special synthetic luminophores that absorb energy from the sunlight and can glow up to 10 hours afterwards. The idea, explains Igor Rutma, who was part of the Inspired by the Stars in his daughter's bedroom, is to make the night sky down on Earth. Although the technology is unclear in how well the luminophores will hold up in the winter, it says that this could be applied to a range of surfaces like landing pads for small aircrafts and so much more. Again, outside the box thinking. When your children come to you with bizarre and ridiculous ideas, please stop shooting them down. Please stop telling your kids that they're that they're dreaming too big or that that idea is never going to work, because the reason why Inari is the way he is, his first day of school, we stood outside and waited for his bus. Kindergarten, I will never forget this. He said, Mommy, I want to count all the leaves on all the trees. And I'm thinking to my head, kid, do you know that the leaves are going to fall on the damn ground before you get off the first tree? Since day one, that is something that I've been nurturing and cultivating in my own children. That whatever they dream about, they can achieve. And even he told me this recently. He was like, Mommy, do you remember I told you I wanted to count all the leaves on all the trees? And I was like, yeah. He was like, do you know how difficult that would be? The leaves would fall down before I got out of one state. Pretty smart. Good thing I didn't tell you that when you were 6, huh? Let you figure out on your own. But that's just small potatoes. Boston water main floods in trenches. I know you guys heard about this. I know you guys saw this. I know a lot of people were upset because they were stuck in traffic because all of Tremont Street, well, not all of it, but a good portion of Tremont Street was down. 2 workers in Boston were killed when a water main gave way and flooded a deep trench where they were working. Our condolences, our love, and peace to the families. May the families feel nothing but peace, and may their souls just be filled with. When I heard this story, I was thinking automatically of Andrea. Whether or not Andrea could reach out to the men spiritually and give the family some sort of closure. I don't know if you guys remember one of our Freaky Fridays that was less sexual and more on a weird, like, spiritual path, when Andrea was talking about being able to communicate with those that just recently passed for 72 hours. And I was like, I wonder, whether or not these families would be open to that. But I hope and I pray for peace for their family, and closure, and love for them. And I never want to drown, and I never want to die in a fire. And unfortunately, these men have succumbed to one of my greatest fears, and I cannot imagine what it was like for them to be in that position, especially when you were just simply going to work. In other news, hopefully this is going to make you mad today, and I hope it doesn't. I hope you pick up the phone and make some phone calls. Assigning riders a 12% fare increase, while, because the law says 5% every 2 years, then forgiving Keolis's fines and giving them $66 million is a slap in the face. Oh, if you didn't know, Keolis is the company that works for the MBTA. Keolis is the company that has absolutely no clue what the hell they were doing when they bidded for this job for the MBTA, for the Amtrak. Keolis is the company that paid $360 something thousand in 1 year for a man that apparently did 120 hours in a week. Every week for 52 weeks. Again, assigning riders a 12% fare increase, because the law says 5% every 2 years, then forgiving Keolis of their fines, and then giving them $66 million is a slap in the face to every single one of your peers, your co-workers, your colleagues that are taking that bus and train every single day, complaining about how much it costs and how quickly fares are increasing, and how good them workers get paid. Lovely. They get paid like state officials, city officials. China's left behind generation concerns rise as 61 million children are growing up without parental care. A study on October 20th found 61 million children living away from parents. Their parents are mainly migrant workers in bigger Chinese cities. Many of the children only get to see their parents once a year. Once a year. Some of these babies are out there working the fields. Some of these babies are in orphanages type situations, so the families can work and the children, are too young or need to go to school. That number blew my mind, and I want us to start thinking outside of our own backyard, because it's not just about us, it's about those that we will encounter and our children will encounter in the future. You can't just think about today when we have tomorrow to worry about as well. No, Taylor, you can't think about tomorrow. You have to worry about today. We do have to be mindful about tomorrow. In other news, so I don't know if you guys remember, but last week we had an amazing guest that came in, and we were talking about media, but he's also a hip hop head. So we were talking about hip hop, and we were talking about some of the artists that made it big in Boston, and then went out and took the world by storm. And one of the listeners, I love y'all. I just want y'all to know that I love every single last one of you. One of the listeners was like, "Yo, Taylor, he didn't even mention one of the most, influential hip hop stars ever." So for those who didn't know, I wanted to make a correction from last week, because we did have one of Boston's own put on for Boston, and that is Guru. And if you didn't know, Guru was a Roxbury-born rapper. He passed away April 19th, 2010 in a hospital bed after succumbing to cancer at the age of 48. As we all know, he was internationally renowned. He was a musician. He was a philanthropist. He was an advocate. But what I didn't know was that he was a judge's son. So, in a city that has been historically marred by racial injustice, the Elams of Boston are the real life version of Will Smith's fictional character of Fresh Prince, the Banks family. The son of a struggling mechanic, Guru's father, Harry Sr., worked 2 jobs, put himself through law school, and eventually became the first African American municipal court judge in Boston. Guru's mother, Barbara, was an activist librarian who worked to purge public school shelves of bigoted literature. His older brother, Harry Jr., one of 3 siblings, is a professor of drama at Stanford. I didn't know this. I wanted to share that fun fact with you. Now you know, knowing's half the battle. Taylor Andre. It was going to be G.I. Joe, but I went ahead and switched it real quick. Flint parents are suing the school district over inadequate services for lead-exposed children. So the federal lawsuit says that the city's toxic water has caused children to develop disabilities and behavioral problems. So before I continue reading the story, I want to inform you that not too long ago, here in Massachusetts, we had something that was very similar. And I met, probably about 2 years ago, a young lady who is currently on SSI and has always been on SSI since she was a little girl, because back in the day, I believe it was like 22, 25 years ago, in Taunton, Raynham, in that area, they had lead throughout all of their pipes, all of their schools, and the baby said that she had brain damage. And that's why her mother had her put on SSI, because she had brain damage, she had developmental problems, she had behavioral problems, and she was labeled disabled due to the lead in her water. Blew my mind. And I thought about this, but I didn't think that the parents were going to go ahead and sue the school district over inadequate services for lead-exposed children. The federal lawsuit says the city's toxic water has caused children to develop learning disabilities, behavioral problems, and lead exposure from the city's water supply has put thousands of children at risk for learning disabilities, increased hyperactivity, and aggression. The plaintiff's legal team warns that the clock is running out for students to receive impactful interventions. I still can't. You do know that after all of this time, that water still ain't been fixed. You do know that, right? 2014, we finna go into 2017. The water is still contaminated. Do you remember the conversation that we had with Nahaz? I don't want to butcher her name. Queen Nahazda. I butchered it. She was on air talking with us about Standing Rock, but her and I do have an interview on YouTube where we were face to face. It's a video interview where you can see both of us, and she's talking about the Flint water. And I don't know if you guys remember, probably early summer, maybe like April-ish, May, where there was a fundraiser to raise money for the filters, so they could have filters in their home. And some of them were able to have filters that filtered all of the water in the house, and then some of them were able to filter out the drinking water. Long story short, there's still issues, there's still problems. Nahazda, oh my gosh, I need to figure out how to pronounce her name correctly. I want you to go back and read that. Yonazdaha. That's what it is. Yonazdaha. So I'll go ahead and I'll post that interview again. It's on YouTube. You can type it in and type her name in, Yonazdaha. And that's Yonasda. She gave facts after facts after facts. A singer kneels to perform the national anthem at the Miami Heat basketball game in a Black Lives Matter protest. Denisha Lawrence sang the national anthem before the NBA game in Miami. She sang and knelt, following the lead of the NFL player Colin Kaepernick. Lawrence sang before the Miami Heat played the 76ers. Miami Heat linked arms in sign of unity before starting the game, and kneeling for the anthem has now become a protest against racial discrimination across all sports. Keep it up, babies. Keep it up. Oh, let me give a huge shout out to the Bengals because my baby not only made 2 touchdowns yesterday, but he also scored a conversion. Don't ask me what that means. I'm just proud of my baby. My baby, I'm so proud of him. If you know what a conversion is, please call me and tell me. Because I was like, yeah, Sonari, yeah, you scored a conversion. I had too much pride to tell everybody I didn't know what a conversion was, but I was proud of him nonetheless because he was happy. He was proud. I think he called all 14 people in his phone just to tell them. 5 renowned judges, 5 well-known, 5 intelligent, 5 judges heard 30 witnesses describe crimes against humanity at the Monsanto Tribunal. Oh, you thought this was a game. I told y'all last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, that Monsanto had an international lawsuit against them. I was so serious. Last weekend, farmers, scientists, and activists from all over the world gathered at the Monsanto Tribunal in Hague, Netherlands, to present the case against destruction caused by one of the corporate giants that promotes industrial farming. Symbolic Monsanto Tribunal aimed to hold Monsanto, the giant agrochemical company that recently merged with Bayer. I don't understand why a pharmaceutical company needs to merge with your food company. Monsanto, if you did not know, had a plant here in Boston, Massachusetts. Currently, the land that they used to own is toxic. There's toxic waste all over it. There's a city in Alabama that sued them for millions of dollars because their drain off contaminated the water and the entire town got sick. These are the people that make your food. Monsanto and their Agent Orange is the reason why we still are paying Vietnam veterans as well as Vietnamese people for, I can't even tell you the amount of abnormalities that it has caused throughout the years. You want to see the Zika virus on fleek? Go back and look up Vietnam veterans, and it's passed down in DNA. They have facts. This is proven. They have studies that have people that just plane. They're people flying the plane back during the Vietnam days. The people who flew the plane spraying the Agent Orange that killed the vegetation. How you let the people who killed vegetation be the creators of those that create vegetation for everyone to eat? Like, please, common sense here. Again, the symbolic Monsanto Tribunal aimed to hold Monsanto, the giant agrochemical company, to account for its alleged atrocities against humanity and the environment. This isn't Taylor the conspiracy theorist. This is an international tribunal. This event is far from over. It will be echoed back throughout the food system as the tribunal's participants bring home lessons, solutions, and renewed hope for change. 5 international renowned judges heard 30 witnesses. Experts gave their account of the environmental damage. One testimony described how monoculture has caused a great loss to the seed variety. They compared the patenting seeds to a new form of colonization. And if you don't know, just for clarification, if you are a farmer and you are farming here in Roxbury, and your seed is all organic and you've been having seeds passed down generations to generations, you're still growing food from your great granddaddy, the sharecropper, and then Monsanto ends up having a farm in Mattapan, but just because the wind blows and germination is a real thing, and Monsanto's genetically modified seed blows in the wind to your Roxbury seed, you then have to convert every single last one of your vegetables, fruits, whatever the hell you're growing, to Monsanto seed, because their seeds are not just genetically modified, they're trademarked. And if you have my seed on your farm, your entire farm has to convert. They are comparing it, the patenting of seeds, to a new form of colonization. Soon, there are very few organic, seeded anything on this planet, because Monsanto is in almost every country. Now, there are countries that are like, listen, Monsanto's not going to be here. Russia is one of those countries that just kicked all genetically modified foods out. Say what you want about Russia, but I know one thing that's good, because the way United States and the way lobbyists are run, no time soon are we going to see Monsanto out of our country. Police say one homeless man killed another in Newmarket Square fight. This is new reports. This took place last night at 10:32. Police reported finding a man in his 40s with fatal injuries outside of 1071 Mass Ave around 5:15 p.m. Not long after, police say officers identified, then found the suspect, Peter McGowan. I certainly don't think that Peter was from Roxbury. No, 53 years old, was charged with murder. They did not say how McGowan allegedly inflicted the other man's injuries, but I do know that I'm interested. I am interested in walking down Mass Ave at 7 a.m. when the drug gates are open and asking every single last one of those Mass Avians, where are they from? Where, my dear, are you from? And I want to take a survey of where all these individuals are from and then ask the mayor, can we send these people back to where they came from? Can we have Newton deal with their drug addicts? Why we got to find solutions? Can we send them back to Needham so Needham can deal with their drug addicts? Can we send them back to Holyoke so Holyoke can deal with, like, why do we have to absorb your issues? Is you a drug addict? No. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But these new wave of drug addicts, they are not my cup of tea. I miss my crackheads. Crackheads would work for every penny. You wouldn't see a crackhead collecting money. Crackhead said, do you want to buy? What can I do? These new drug addicts just want you to give them stuff. I'm not okay with that. Go work for something. I hate when a grown man, an able-bodied grown man, asks a female for money. You done lost your mind. Please have several seats. There's so much other stories that I want to get to, but we are at the top of the hour. I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, Independent Cleaning Crew. Coming soon to a home near you. Please check out her products. Shout out to Stacy. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh. She uses nothing but non-toxic, biodegradable, all-natural ingredients. She only uses pure essential oils to fragrance her products. She has created all-purpose glass cleaner, an all-purpose cleaner, toilet bombs, and the Soya Softer Scrub. I don't know what that is, but we're going to have her on soon to explain to us her little breakdown of everything. They come in scents of spearmint myrrh, orange cinnamon clove, lemongrass verbena, and myrrh by itself. Her normal fees are $50 an hour. You can, I'm trying to get her phone number because some people hit me up and was like, Taylor, I can't just do the, I can't do the online thing. I'm not online savvy. So can you give me her number? So I'm going to go ahead and get that number. But it's independentcleaningcrew.com. Independentcleaningcrew.com. If you go to her website, you can go ahead and sign up. Send her an email. Let her know you're interested. And she will get in contact with you about cleaning, whether it's your house, whether it's your business, whether it's for a party, whether it's for an event, whatever it is. And not just that, I want to give her a huge shout out because she also paints. If you have a new apartment and you need the apartment clean before a new tenant comes in, she does that. If you need her to do a little fixer-upper, like, she's my type of lady. Because I don't know how to do all those things, but she definitely is handy woman. And I love it. Friday at ZC Boston was amazing. It was packed. People were coming in and out. Oh, aren't you Taylor Andre? Can I have a hug? So shout out to all my huggers out there. I'm definitely one of y'all. And thank you for coming to see me on Friday. I greatly appreciate it. And I'm so sorry that I was so busy. But I do appreciate you coming out. I appreciate, Taylor, you make some good drinks. I sure do. And every single last one of them be experiments. What flavor do you like? Let's see what we can do. And My experiments come out bomb every time. Last but not least, you already know what it is. Faith's Natural 66A South Street. She is there every day of the week for you to come in and get your pom pom wash, your buddy wash. And now she has this aphrodisiac body oil. I have not used my rose infused oil since I've been using the aphrodisiac body oil. It is so amazing. And I have the body scrub as well as the body oil. When I tell you, so I've spoken highly about many of her products when it comes to like, that's that sexy stuff. If you're trying to get some, just put a little some. I'm trying, men, if you want to get some, get the aphrodisiac body oil. It's sexy, it's intriguing. You'll love it. She'll love it. You can do a little foreplay with it. Whatever you want, I just want to watch. I'm joking. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get our guests situated. But I, again, want to I'm in peace. I'm in love right now. And I would love for all of us to experience some type of peace, some type of love, and just woo-saw, baby, woo-saw. Today is the day that the Lord hath made. Be glad and rejoice in it. I'm going to go ahead and play that hashtag no dapple. And when we come back, you already know what it is. Waking Up with Taylor Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7, Big City 101.3 FM.
Right now with us.
Let's go get our guests. We'll be back, YouTube.
They come in and try to take us off, and besides that, everybody's damn welcome. God gave it to the land. We have a right to it. He didn't give it to the United States government. We've got a bigger point than that. We're saying
I'm trying to charge.
We're talking about law. We're talking about respect as a people. Respecting a people as a people. We're talking about
You never dealt with this honorably, United States?
We're saying you've never dealt with this honorably, United
Alright,
States.
let's go get our guests.
Ever. We're not going to allow it to continue. We can't. Problems for the Indian people are within the United States government. Problems that we're having is the federal government is allowing the state government to break a treaty that was signed between the Indians and the Indian people and the federal government. That treaty is a law. We're talking about things like this. We're talking about if we're free, we want the right to make our own decisions. We don't want the great white father image anymore looking down on us, making the decision for us. And we're concerned about people, the reservation people on reservations that are being forced to assimilate or die out. We're worried about things like our language and our culture. And we want this on our own terms. We don't want it. We don't want to be able to hang on to it because the federal government says we can keep this much and we can keep that.
I do wear hats.
It's part of us.
When I have hat days. You can sit right here. Or you can just stand up. I've never seen you in clothes. Yeah, I always see you working. One of the hardest men ever. Hey. That's okay. That's why you didn't bring any food. Today's the day off. That's why we didn't get nothing to eat. I thought we were going to get something today. But that's alright. We'll wait until Friday.
Friday? Let's go until Friday.
Are you recording?
Oh, Snap.
Oh, hey, Snap. Hey, my head look weird. V from Tennessee, what's going on? We got Zaz in the building. Zaz, can we format today's show around?
Sure, just hit me on it like a minute before I go on.
Oh, absolutely. You have 2 minutes, though. It's 2 minutes. Maybe like 2.5. I want to take it from the angle of the process of success, and how every day is a new step for making your dreams come true. Because I remember the last time we had you on, and it wasn't like you learned how to cook and now you have a restaurant. It was like you've traveled internationally, you worked as like, what were you? You weren't a busboy, but you worked somewhere where I didn't think you would have.
So I was a welder first. But then after my career, I did the, started making $9 an hour.
That's what it was. It was like, it was It was the fact that you worked in a restaurant making pennies when you used to make hundreds of thousands a year.
Yeah.
Let me follow you on Snap. Stop following you. Might get the sneak peeks over there.
I know, right?
Looking like Anari in that hat. Yo, you know that we did that when we covered our hair and we have the same face. I just have hair and he's growing his hair. Right now he looks like Izzy from the Double Dutch movie, the Disney Double Dutch movie. His hair's falling in his face and he can shake it like a dog. It's so weird to see him with hair. He hasn't had hair since his daddy cut it back when he was 2. I was pissed that day. I was so mad. I came from church and he was like, Mommy! Harvey, where is his hair? Big City 101.3 FM, waking up with Taylor Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. Do you see something different on my head? I have a hat from Zaz. That green and black. Good rising, my king. How you doing? Ori. Hi.
Oh, hey.
How
I'm
you
sorry.
doing?
I'm over here on my social media page and everything. How you
Let me
doing?
see. I go live on Facebook.
Live on Facebook. Actually, I'm not even on. I'm on Instagram and Snapchat right now.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
Anyway, it's good to be here.
Good. Put it on your lip.
On my lip.
Ooh, there you go. There
Is
you
that
go.
good?
It's not even Friday yet.
It's not even Appreciate being here though. You know, I appreciate the love. You always show me love though, so I gotta thank you. Thank you for all the.
Listen, I'm a fat girl, Ori, so and you always show
coming
me
to my
love.
spot and like doing your little videos and people coming in like, hey, I saw this on Taylor Andre's Facebook feed, live feed.
Do people come in and say, can you make me what Taylor ate?
Oh yeah, we get that. That's why we gotta be careful with. Sometimes we do special requests and then like I'm like, huh? That's not on the menu. I can't do that right now. So we gotta.
Or you could just say, that's a Taylor special.
That's a Taylor special. Yeah.
I can't
So
do that. That's
gotta,
a Taylor special. I can have something for myself.
Yep, exactly. We could do that.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna put some here. We could do like some name a dish after you and put it up. So
Ooh,
we do
it
that.
has to be sweet. Since
It
I'm
has to be
sweet.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So no savory. You want the sweet side. All right.
Hold on, I am kind of thickum, so we could do savory. Savory could work. Listen, I love to eat and you love to cook, so this is like a marriage in heaven.
Yeah, but overall we really grateful. We had a really good year. You know, we always look at the numbers and see, you know, the progression and everything, and it's been really good. So I'm humble. I'm grateful. You know, we came a long way.
How many years now?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, going on 6. So it's quite a journey, and you gotta be persistent. You gotta be resilient. You have to pretty much block out like all the distractions. I feel like distractions is one of the things that can be a huge
Hindrance.
Yeah. So you gotta figure a way to block that out. That could come in different forms, whether it's relationship or whether it's, you know, bad influences or friends or whatever. You just figure a way to block out distractions to stay focused on your goal and stuff. So happy to be here. I know you have a list of questions you said for me.
I always have questions. First of all, can you tell me how you make that lobster macaroni and cheese?
Oh boy, here we go. So now she wants my recipes.
Oh, no, okay.
So that she would stop coming.
That is a lie. Even if you gave me the recipe down to like
Do you
the
cook? Do
grain
you cook
of,
much?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
What kind of food you?
Okay, so I need to work on the consistency of rice.
Rice.
Because one
you love
day
rice.
it will be so bomb, and then the next day it'll be so, and then the day after that it'll be like, damn, Taylor.
Yeah. Rice is actually, it's not easy to that's one of the, even sometimes myself and I make rice, we do probably like over 100 pounds of rice a week. We cook a lot of rice.
Oh, that's like 5 bags.
Yeah, we do a lot of rice. And that's with only the jasmine rice. So we do jasmine, we do basmati, we do different types of rice. So only on the jasmine side, we do about 125 a week.
Is that the one you make Jean with?
That's the one. No, that's the one with the Thai rice and the the Thai rice, the coconut rice. We use it in a lot of wraps. So we do a lot of jasmine.
What's the difference between basami? What is it? Is it
but basmati?
basmati?
Yeah, that's so. They're both like in Asian origins, but I think the basmati is mostly like the India rice. It comes mostly from India. The jasmine is like Thai and on that side, you know. So
Is it like American rice?
American rice. I don't know. That's a good question. I know different cultures uses different rice predominantly. Even from like Caribbean, we use a lot of the long grain like brown rice.
What's the rice that has a slit in it? Like Spanish people use it.
Yeah,
It has
that's
like a line in it.
yeah, that's so yeah, exactly. So different again, different cultures. So they use that's also it's just a white rice really. I don't think there's a particular name for that one. There's like so many different varieties now, especially now with a lot of the health freaks
Craze.
and the health
It's a
craze over there.
craze.
It's you know sometimes because even like the brown rice or the wild rice, um, a lot of different nutritional facts on some of the rice. Sometimes you want to keep away from the carbs, so a lot of people don't do a lot of rice nowadays too. But for the most part, we cook a lot of rice. So even with the consistency of making the rice, like you were talking about, I always try to use the exact same method every time, like the same pots. I don't switch. And I have like a lot of different pots in the house, but I use like the same pots. I try to, by me doing it every day, I know the exact amount of water. I feel like the water level is very hugely important when you're doing the rice thing. So you want to do the same amount of water and same seasoning if you can. Just be consistent with the flavoring and all that stuff. I know when you cook at home, you don't always tend to measure or just throw stuff in, and sometimes that's where the problem lies is when you try to just throw in the kitchen sink, so to speak, like you just throw everything in the cabinet in the pot. That's an issue. You want to kind of cut down on all the especially all the stuff that's in some of these fake seasonings nowadays. You want to cut down
Hold on.
stuff.
Tell me about this. What's a fake seasoning?
Well, just the stuff that the preservatives, the stuff that you could leave on your shelf for like 3 years, and
Can you give me an example?
I feel like
What about the seasoning salt with the red cap? Is that one that should be out of our cabinets?
well, I think even when it comes to salt, the sodium, we gotta be careful with the amount of sodium, and we want to be healthy, obviously, and a lot of times we don't necessarily, we prefer to feel good what we eat, but we don't look at the long term effects and stuff like that. But I feel like the sodium, the salt, you keep it simple. Keep it. Don't fill your cabinet with stuff that, like I said, you have there for forever, and you want to read the labels, see what's in it, and even for the sources where you get stuff, you want to be careful with that as well. You know, I myself, I prefer as well as it sounds, like I keep my, whether it's at home or in the restaurant, if you look at my cabinet, it's pretty much just about a handful of seasoning. I feel like the fresh seasonings like the onions, garlic, go back to that type of cooking. Onions, garlic, scallions, the fresh thyme. Use mostly like fresh herbs as opposed to the seasoned salts and all that other stuff.
Talking about herbs, let's discuss this basil fried rice. That is so good.
Yeah, that's one of the best sellers.
If
Inspiration.
you haven't had the basil fried rice, they are closed today, but they are open tomorrow. European hours are.
Make sure and tell them that. So we do 11 to 2, Tuesday to Friday, 11 to 2, 4 to 10. All right. Now, when we say 4 to 10, people, don't show up at like 9:50 and try to put a huge order in. The kitchen closes at like 9:45, and
the restaurant itself closes at 10.
Yeah, the 10. So I mean, obviously, if you're in there eating, we're not going to kick you out at 10. But
you gotta go home.
Yeah, exactly. But we try to, because my staff they go really hard, and when I always try to make sure their interests is well taken care of. So even being there all day, and we do a lot of stuff 95% of the stuff is made fresh to order. So when it's time to go, I'm like, okay, give my staff a break, get them out of here. So
So you care about your employees.
you have to. They don't always feel like I do. You know how that goes. Because I'm my
You don't play games.
well, you know,
when it's time to work, it's time to
yeah,
work.
you have to be consistent, and you have to be disciplined. And a lot of people don't like that because it's different to what they used to. So to me, being disciplined is like crucial in what I'm doing, and the person I am, all my achievements and accomplishments. You have to be different, and again, you can't allow people's influence or feelings or all that stuff to stray you from what you need to do to be successful. So being focused is the main thing, and you know, whether it's family or friends or coworkers or whatever, you know, if you have a path and you're trying to, you know, create a name or a brand for yourself, you just, there's certain things you have to do and have to cut out. So as far as the Thai rice though, like I said, that's one of the best sellers. We have a few new things. We like the mac and cheese has been really popping, doing really well.
So he has lobster macaroni and cheese and Cajun
Lobster,
shrimp.
Cajun shrimp, and we added the chicken mac and cheese.
Really?
So we actually been getting orders already for Thanksgiving for the mac and cheese.
So what does that look like? Like, is it a half pan?
Yeah, we're gonna do different sizes, and this is the time of the year where we trying to take orders in early enough, because we also do catering as well.
So birthday parties. I know
Birthday
you
parties,
recently
yeah,
catered
yeah.
Faith's opening,
Yeah,
and we had the chicken sandwiches.
Oh, were you there?
Oh, of course
Oh,
I was
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Of course.
Yeah, she's good people's, man. I love her products. I didn't get a chance to stop by the store yet, but I'm super happy for her.
That's okay because you're spoiled. You get huge packages of
I know,
beard oils just sent to
I
you.
know, right? I got my stuff sent to me. I appreciate that. Appreciate the love. She's really, and I always, you know, try to, cause I know how it is to start off a business, and the more support you have, the more platform, like even like this platform, to be able to spread the word and you know, get your stuff out there, the better it is. And it's like family, you know. So I'm really rooting for her. I hope it's going well. I know the kinks comes in, you know, after your first couple of years, you're gonna have those lonely days, even those, never mind the winter months or the days that are cold or whatever, and you don't have much customers walking in, but you really want to just stay strong. But I'm rooting for her. I'm gonna send people her way. The product is great. I just used a beard oil this morning on my face.
Look at all shiny.
It's shiny, you know. So she got good stuff. Smells good, you know. So wish you all the best.
And shout out to Faith's Natural, 66A South Street, right down the street from Forest Hills.
Check you out. You just spit that out. You didn't even look at no paper on that.
Always. That's my boo. That's my boo. You know I helped her find that place.
Oh really?
Real estate agent Taylor Andre.
That's awesome. I didn't. How big is it? She said it's kind of. Is it?
No, it's tiny,
It's
but
tiny,
it
but it's
fits.
perfect for her,
It's
right?
perfect for her.
Yeah, that's good. Because you don't want to get into some over your head, especially for your first one. You want to, you know.
Because you know people are like, yo, Zaz your name's not Ari. His name is Zaz.
Right? No one knows my name. Everyone is Mr. Zaz. Everywhere I go, like, hey Zaz. I'm like, I just answer anyway. You know, that's the brand anyway. So, people talking about the space being bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he need more space. He need more space. He need to get another location.
Yeah. I actually, you know, believe it. I'm first of all, I'm very particular in my moves, and I've been looking. I've been looking for another spot. I've been looking for a different location. We actually had one deal that it just fell through about 6 weeks ago. It was really close to signing the paperwork and getting in there.
It wasn't meant to be.
Everything happened for a reason.
You need a real estate agent. I got you.
You know, so we actually, you know, if you know anyone, hit me up. We looking for a good
Hi.
enough space.
I'm serious. Do you need a real estate agent? I got you.
Well, the location is key. With the vision I have some people right now I'm trying to work with. The next deal I want to do something different, and it wouldn't be it may not even be the same name. You know, I want to kind of have a different vibe of what I'm trying to do. So We spread the word on what it is exactly, but just a different vibe. I'm not gonna share it all right now, but we
See,
looking.
you can't come on here and not give at least one exclusive. Not one.
We looking, and we there's some things we're working on it because I hit my 5 year anniversary, and we actually gonna be doing an event, do like a little happy gathering, so to speak. And obviously, you'll know all the details when we get to the location. But we're looking to do like a mansion party.
Yes.
For my, for
We
my
were talking about
family.
that on Freaky Friday, doing a
Yeah.
mansion party, but I don't
Yeah.
think your mansion party is mine.
Yeah. So hit us up if you know any great mansion spots that would allow.
The one in Dedham.
See, that's the thing. It's always only one option. I like to have different varieties to
Somewhere
choose
different.
from.
I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah. You know, so hit us up. We definitely looking for that anniversary party thing to go off. And
Hold on, time out 5 seconds. So we're Facebook Living right now. We're also on YouTube Live, TAYLAANDRE. And V from Tennessee has never been to Boston, has never been to Zaz, but he's on here on Facebook telling everybody the address.
oh, nice. There you go, V. Is it V?
From,
You said
yeah,
V?
V from Tennessee.
V from Tennessee. Wow.
Knowing their address, people are like, oh, where's that? Where's it at? V's like, hold on. Something. Hold on. What is it? He typed in 1238 River Street, Hyde Park.
So does V know the Instagram too? Hit the Instagram at Zaz Restaurant, ZAZ Restaurant. For the Instagram, we do a lot of pictures on there. Facebook as well, Zaz Restaurant and Catering.
You guys, please go look at that lobster macaroni. I tell you, it was the best thing I ever ate in my life.
Yeah, we try to fill it up with a lobster too. So
big chunks and not just claw pieces,
yeah.
like tail pieces. It's real meat. It's good meat. Let me go ahead and read some of these comments. Good rising, Mr. Zaz. I love that place. Big Mike said that the rice is crack. It is the right spicy. It's the right spicy stuff, just enough. Liz said, where's the restaurant located? That's when B from Tennessee told her 1238 River Street. There's some mansions in Sharon and Waltham. B said, I've been on his website checking out that menu. Sharon said their catering is thebomb.com. Liz said, I totally agree with that. Fresh ingredients is the best way to go.
You make me blush over here. Jeez, thank you, people.
V said, I need a pimento wood supplier for my jerk chicken. I'm stuck with a whole pimento over the charcoal. Anna Maven, shout out to her. She said, Ari, great brother, and Zaz food is amazing.
This family right there. What up, Anna? She's up, bro. She probably at the gym. Take it easy, Anna.
VCR said, good rising. Just coming back from Dubai. Hope you guys are having a good day. V said, one of my barbecue partners, Cisco Kid, is opening a restaurant up next month, and we're excited. What advice would you give to somebody who's a great cook and wants to open a restaurant?
Good question. So, listen, it's a tough industry. It's not an easy industry at all. Everyone thinks they could cook.
Yo, my lasagna though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everyone, I'm just kidding. But nah, it's you know, what I say is the three things: be patient, be consistent, be disciplined. Okay.
Be patient, be consistent,
Yeah,
be disciplined.
and then each of these habits underline, you know, because for me, like I said, the first couple of years, you're gonna go through different things. But for me, I had to study the craft. I respect the craft enough to where I study the craft very intensely, very passionate.
Let's talk about that process, because you are by trade a welder.
Yeah, so I was a welder for 10 years. Iron worker. I became the foreman. Some of you are familiar with the story. I became a foreman pretty quickly. I hiring, training, all that stuff, and you know, my eyes were starting to have issues. So I'm like, I gotta do something that I really love to do, and I always loved cooking. So I decided to work part time at the time at Condita Meister, and I worked at Condita Meister for a couple of years. Then I got introduced to a gentleman in the restaurant industry named David Tedisco, and I used to deliver cakes to him all the time. And he's like, I'll give you a shot. I'll give you I started off at 850 an hour. 850 an hour. I'm like, whoa. To me at the time was major difference in numbers because I came from, like I said, being a foreman, and at the time I was still doing the welding. So I'm like, okay, I'll take that to start off part time. Then eventually I went from part time to full time. So I left the foreman, I left the welding job to become a line cook, person, and I did
For
that.
$8.50 an hour.
850, and then he gave me a bump to $9, and I'm like, okay, let me just use this time to really hone in on the craft and learn and try to learn flavors, flavor profile, and how to make something taste like Asian or how to make it taste Italian. What do you have to use for spices and ingredients? Because there's different layers of being a chef. There's so many different origins and spices and flavors out there. You want to know where you're going with your flavor when you start cooking. Um, so,
How difficult? That was a sacrifice. That was a financial sacrifice.
oh yeah, major.
To go from something that is your bread and butter to something that you love.
Yeah.
A lot of people out there really have talents, but their talents aren't paying them like their job.
Right.
And how was it financially for you, for your family, to take that cut?
Yeah, well, at the time, thankfully, I was single and no kids and no family. But not everyone was in the same situation. But it was major difference. My lifestyle had to change, obviously. I love nice things, so changing my lifestyle as far as shopping and buying things or cars. I was always being a car person, so investing in the wrong thing, I had to give it a break. But I think I've never had an issue saving, so I did a lot of saving when I did make good money at the time. So I saved a lot. So the first, using up some of my savings at the time, because at the end of the day, I still have bills, so I still had to use up some of that savings when I had that new job because it wasn't paying enough. So that drove me even more, even harder to get it or try to get it quickly. And even when I decided to go to culinary school, I went to Cordon Bleu in Cambridge. I did that for a couple of years, and I decided to go to Spain for a few months to again learn the craft, learn how to make. Because I was always curious. Like, okay, how do you make something taste Mexican? Like, what kind of ingredients would you put in there? Or how do you make something taste, Vietnamese? So being that curious and that you can't always, to me, you can't always read about it. You want to be engulfed by
There and experience
be in the
it.
experience of the place or whatever the climate you want to work with or deal with. And it was good taking that trip. It was good meeting people along the way. The Spain trip really helped me to meet some incredible chefs. That's one experience I definitely I'm proud of because I met some really, really, really great chefs over there.
Do you keep in contact with them?
Yeah, we on social media. Yeah, we always say what's up. They're proud of what I'm doing. They see the growth and sometimes even critical because I'm the type I like to be taught. I like to be trained still. So we ask each other questions. They're always like, hey, what do you think about this? So I go back and forth with the whole chef lingo.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that really that decision was great. And coming back to the States, I decided I'm like I want to do catering because I feel like that's where you want to learn how to cook in bulk. You want to learn how to make something from serving one plate to serving 100 plates. You want the consistency of even making that flavor stay the same, whether it's like I said, making one
Family
dish,
size or
family size,
party size.
Exactly.
What tips do you have for that? For from going from something that you cook for your family and everyone's like, can you bring that to the party? And
Right.
holidays are coming up.
Right. So for me, like if you're not comfortable doing like a big pan of rice, for example, I would just start off simply. If you need to make 5 pots of small pots and then throw that into the pan, then do so because getting that bigger pot sometimes could throw off your ratio and that's when you get into the pitfalls. If you're comfortable, then you can obviously invest in a bigger pot and try to use the same ingredients you use. Just get into the habit of measuring your ingredients. I think that will help a lot if you measure out the season that you use for that individual pot to now you upgrade into a bigger pot. Try to use the same ingredients and put it aside and go through the process. That may be tricky because sometimes that cooking is a science. So sometimes you want to learn how to master that particular new format at times, and you may go with trial and error. So I don't know if you're willing to get into your burn. You may burn the first couple of pots. You may go through different things just to learn how to perfect that step. So
And you use cast iron pots, right?
yeah, you want to use a heavy pot. Depends on what you're making. You want to use heavier pots, heavy bottom mostly, because that's where the burning happens when it's too thin on the cheaper side. You want to use a heavy cast iron or the steel or something that could hold the heat properly.
So let me ask you a quick question. Talking about pots, I know with cast iron, you're not supposed to use soap on them, right? How are you supposed to properly clean a cast iron pan?
You're not supposed to use soap unless it's if you have, depends on what, again, it goes to what you're making. You don't want to, certain pots you want to make certain things, but sometimes if we use, like, for example, if you have a cheese or something melts on the pot, you have to get it out, obviously. You don't want to scrape too much, like the brittle pads. You don't want to use too much of that stuff. Just let it soak. A lot of times I say just put it on the stove with some water, boil it, and get all that stuff off easier than to scrape. I think that's a lot of times the issue comes in when you start scraping these material a lot. And then once you boil it and get all that stuff out, you can use a soft material and wipe it off. But you want to use some oil as well afterwards. Use a bit of oil to grease it and have it sit there and marinate or whatever they say. I don't use much cast iron. I only use it for if I'm doing like a skillet or if I'm doing, um, like if I'm doing like a baked, because I'm trying to do more desserts as well too on my catering side. So, by the way, the catering is, if you guys want catering, let me do a plug real quick. So hit us up at either my personal email, olrie.roberts@gmail. Hit us up at that email address. So olrie.roberts@gmail. And we could forward you to my catering person. Her name is Giovanna. We're doing pretty well right now with the catering aspect. So just come in, hit us up so we can kind of get it out of the way for the holiday season.
Do you make? So you have these 3 drinks that I love.
You want your smoothie drinks?
The smoothie drinks, and they're all natural, right?
Yeah, everything is the coconut. We get our coconuts. Sometimes it's hard to find good coconut, especially being in Boston. We sometimes we have issues with some of the stores because we want to crack these coconuts in here before we leave, because coconuts sometimes it's tricky to get the right coconut. So we use all fresh ingredients, all the products, everything that we do at Zaz. I try to pride myself on doing the fresh ingredients, natural ingredients, make to order. One of my slogans is "We not fast food, we fresh food," and we pretty much take pride in that, because a lot we're so used to the fast and the quick and all these
instant gratification
instant stuff, and then sometimes when you come to Zaz, you waiting 20 minutes and you're having issues. Please be patient, people. It takes time to make it right.
I see people who've been ordering in advance.
Yeah, call in.
What's the
But
number?
we have peak hours though. We have times of the day where it's, even if you call in, it will take some time to make it right. I have to do it. And I'm the type, if it's not right and I don't want to do it, I'm not gonna give you something that you go home and you're not happy with. So I'm very particular with all that stuff. So whether it's a Thai rice or whether it's a jerk or whatever it is, we really want to make sure that when you leave the door, you're satisfied.
Larry said I went twice and they were closed. What are the hours?
See, so every day except Saturdays, well, Tuesday to Friday, we close 2 to 4. We have a 2 to 4 break, okay? So we start 11 to 2, 4 to 10. On Saturdays, we go from 9 all the way to 10. We don't have any breaks on Saturdays. But, like I said, if I'm doing a catering event, a private event, or function, we try to post everything online so people know in advance, so they wouldn't head over there and be disappointed. But
So make sure you follow the social media so you can be aware.
be aware of the if there's any changes with the time slot.
VCR said 2 words: salmon burger.
Salmon burger, yeah, that's
That was a new one I
Yeah.
recently had.
yeah, that's I go back and forth with my favorites. That because for me it's hard to eat my own food because I'm so picky and I'm so when I'm eating it I'm like I always try to make it better. So then it's hard to be satisfied with it. So by me eating my food sometimes I'm like I should have put this in there. I should have did this. I'm my biggest challenge. I try to push myself even further each time. So try to be better. I try to come up with the next bestseller, and it can be tricky sometimes. But that used to be one of my best. Right now, my favorite is the lobster mac and cheese and the barbecue chili jerk chicken.
Hold on. I'm unaware. What is this?
The barbecue chili. I think you had the.
No,
You never
I've
had-
never had barbecue chili
You're so
jerk
silly.
chicken.
Yeah, that's actually one of my. I can eat that one every day. That one is I think the combination of flavors. I'm very like.
Barbecue chili jerk.
It's pretty serious.
So I'll be there tomorrow at 11:30. Give you enough time to set up.
You sure you wouldn't call me at 9 a.m. and be like, where you at? You sure?
I think you should do breakfast, but I understand like why you open at 11 because you're actually out getting fresh fruit, getting fresh
Listen,
produce.
you don't understand. Every day, listen, people. My schedule starts off. That's why it's okay for me to wake up this time to come to this interview. Like my day starts off around 5, and then we go. I have my to-do list, and then I go from vendor to vendor. Whether it's my fish guy or my produce guy, I go each day and I do my daily shop. I feel like that's the best way. And I've done it so long where it becomes part of my routine now, and it's not an issue. So people appreciate it. They appreciate the difference in taste. So you could taste something that's sitting there for 3 days as opposed to if it's made fresh. I mean, once you're a foodie and you understand flavors and food, something that's been sitting there. So people taste the difference in our food, and I can't change that brand now.
Well, I thank you for waking up at the crack of dawn to get some of the freshest foods. I would absolutely appreciate if you were open at 7
7 in the morning
for breakfast, so I can come off air, go straight to Hyde Park, and get. And when I tell you, so me and Faith came in, and we got breakfast, and we got French toast.
That's right.
And do you know, like, she went in the next day, like, I just had to get the fruit. I don't know where he gets his fruit from, but it was so good.
Yeah.
So
even the fruit, everything, man. We take people. I'm very once you get to know me, you understand how my mind works, and even shopping for anything. Even my vendors get tired of me because I go in there, I'm like, listen, I don't just want anything, I want to taste my fruits. I make sure it tastes great.
Is that the West Indian in you?
Well, it's I want to my name and my brand is on the line, so I want to make sure that what I'm giving you is everything. It's the best. So if the something is not in season, or if it don't look right, or if it don't taste right, I'm not gonna put it on the plate just to make money or just to sell it. That's not, because to me, if you leave there satisfied or just people spreading the word because of something that's great, that's better, more beneficial for me in the long run. So I don't chase, I don't try to force things. Certain things on my menu. For example, the mangoes. Now we get into the winter now. Certain fruits get scarce and hard to find. So we have to try to find ways now. I'm already thinking about ways. Okay, how can I? What can I do for a substitute, or what can I do for a different option?
So what are you gonna do for the smoothie, the mango peach?
Right. So
Substitute.
we may end up changing that one on the menu because the amount of stuff we use, they wouldn't have.
During the winter
months. And so we may now get into more seasonal flavors, more like the comforty food. That's why we did the mac and cheese. It's more like comfort food season. Forget the gym people. I'm just kidding. So more pastas and and stuff like that.
Could you do something with? Because I know it's like zucchini squash season. Could you do like a squash?
Do you like
Some-
you like
I do,
yourself?
I do.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up on a farm, so I know all about fresh fruits.
Oh, nice.
And my candies were the blueberries, raspberries, strawberries we
nice.
picked, and my
Where did you grow up?
Duxbury.
Oh, check you out. You were okay.
And we had a cranberry bog. We used to sell our
Who's
cranberries.
we?
Well, I was too young to sell them, but my family
Your
sold
family
our
from-
cranberries to Ocean Spray at one time.
Oh wow. Okay, so you got your.
I know about fresh foods. I know about, and we were talking earlier about Monsanto and they're genetically modified, and
Yeah.
you know the nutritional value. Like you were talking about, different rices have different nutritional values. That goes for the same of the seed of whatever vegetable or fruit that you plant.
Check your tomboy. So you should be a little chef over there.
Listen, I do my little 1-2 thing. I'm not Ari, but I can do my little thing.
That's awesome, though. I mean, that's news. That's fun facts right there. I didn't know you
You
grew
didn't
up on a
know
farm.
facts.
I didn't know
You
that.
didn't know that?
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to. So you have this one sauce that I have to have like 3 cups of, no matter what I'm eating. Can I get some sauce?
Thanks.
I don't know what it is.
This guy came in Saturday, and I guess he wanted like a big bottle of it, and I couldn't give him. He came in like in the middle of the lunch rush, like it's packed, and then I'm like, I can't give him that now. Like, we have to make it. So I'm like, okay. He left. Then he came back Friday night. He's like, can you make that now? Okay. He's so persistent. Let me go spend some time and make this sauce for him, because he's like, he came back at the same day. To come back for that. So
Can
it's
you tell me
essentially-
what makes it sweet? Because I can taste some
I
of
do
the.
I do brown sugar and a lot of orange juice, cilantro. That's enough.
That's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It comes with the
The Thai.
Thai.
It comes with a few different people. This guy, he said he used it for his salad. I've never had it with salad, but he said he used it. I guess he's on a no carb diet right now, so.
That does sound like it would be good with salmon and a bed of salad.
Yeah. He said actually that's exactly what he said for his salmon and salad. 'Cause he don't eat meat. Check you out with the flavor
Message. Look
combination.
at that.
right
Yeah,
there,
you like
check.
that. So that's going to be on the menu in about 2 weeks.
I know, right? That'll be the tail special right there. This is the seasoned salmon. Oh, you want the salmon? You want it jerk? You want it
No,
teriyaki?
right now I'm on
Grilled?
this barbecue. Hold on, what is-
chili jerk?
barbecue chili
Chili jerk,
jerk
yeah.
chicken. So somebody said, I've been listening and haven't heard the name of the spot once. It's Zaz Restaurant. We got it right there on the hat. Zaz Restaurant.
Z, folks.
It's located in Hyde Park. The address is 12. I don't know the address.
1238 River Street.
1238 River Street
Hyde Park.
in Hyde Park. The food is absolutely amazing. The hours are 11 to 2 and then 4 to 10. That's Tuesday through Friday. On Saturday, they're open 11,
No, 9 to 10.
9 a.m. to
Straight through.
10 p.m. straight through all day. Again, the food is amazing. So people are asking about the smoothies. So there's 3 different smoothies.
There's a berry.
There's a berry, which is
Yeah.
like
It's
strawberry.
blackberry, blueberry, strawberries. A lot of strawberries. And we do other stuff, like we put orange juice. You always
It's
want to
so
like.
good.
You always want to fill in with certain ingredients. So we do a lot of OJ and peach.
So one of the things that I would like to say about the smoothies is that if you've ever had a culotta, strawberry culotta, something culotta, and you're like, oh, that's my favorite, it is nothing in comparison to Zaz's smoothies. They're not really smoothies, but it's so good. It's ice with fruits mixed in. The next one is a coconut or a
Coconut.
sour soup.
We do sour sup sometimes.
Sour sup.
Yeah.
Not
But it's different, pronunciation on that. But yeah, it's a sour sup. That's how I call it from my country. I've heard different names. The guanabana, I guess the Latin, like my friend from Dominican Republic, they call it guanabana. So yeah, that one is actually really good as well. We
And there's cinnamon in it.
cinnamon, nutmeg, and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But back to the earlier question as far as starting off. So like I said, patient, consistent discipline, and that discipline really, to me, that's part of the most important, because that's that self-discipline that you need when you're doing your own business. That's that sacrifice. That's that, when no one else is watching, the stuff you're doing to make yourself propel out to go further in your craft. And you know, the days that you, like I said, have to wake up early, the nights you have to stay in late, the things you need to do to apply yourself to be successful. And like I said, the distractions, getting that out of the way, because for the most part, when you're on a path, sometimes you may not have a lot of positive feedbacks from people. You may want to feel like giving up or to quit, but you need to have that inner like strength, that inner strength to be able to push through and not allow any critics, not allow people to sway you from your path or your the what you're trying to get into. So just be disciplined, man. Be consistent as well, and you should be good. Obviously, it will take the investment that you may need as far as monetary investment, and not only monetary but your time. You're investing your family's time sometimes, and being able to not go out as much and not partake in certain things because you have a path or you have a goal.
Sacrifice. You
You
gotta
need to
sacrifice in order to obtain whatever your goal may be. Even if it's not restaurant or food business, whatever your goal is,
Right.
those you can apply those. Discipline,
Yeah.
patience, persistence.
Consistent. You want to be
Consistent.
consistent because even for us as dads, like it could be like 10 degrees outside and we still outside jerking chicken. Like it's just a certain
All
level.
on the grill.
Yeah, a certain level that you have to, even when it doesn't seem feasible, you have to push through, and that's that inner strength, that mental strength that like I said, being tired or being, sick, pushing through difficult times and still have to do what you have to do, especially if you already have a flow of business. Like I can't just be like, okay, I'm not feeling well today, I'm not going to work, or I'm not, I don't feel like doing X, Y, Z. You pretty much have to deny yourself and push through each day.
Mm.
You know.
So V from Tennessee said, I heard him mention saving money to start up, but did you have to take out a business loan?
So no, we didn't do any business loans.
And Faith didn't either. Faith saved her pennies.
We saved, and I sold. Listen, I had at the time, like I said, I was into cars. I sold all my cars. I got rid of my jewelry. I what is it? I pretty much listen. I gave up so much stuff that I was in love with.
Was it worth it?
It was. I mean, now it is. At the time, your family and everyone looked at you like you're crazy. Like, dude, are you serious? Because it's like going into, you have faith and you believe that what you're trying to do it will work. And like I said, the first couple of years you were questioning as well because you're like, man, like this is what I'm making, and like what's going on. But obviously now I can say that it was definitely worth it. And but I'm the type, even if that didn't work, I'm always, failure is not an option. That's how I live my life a certain way that I don't allow. I feel like all that is growth. I don't allow drawbacks or um, when something don't go my way to deter me from any path. So I was determined to make it work. That's why I spent time learning the craft. So you have to learn you have to, whatever you're doing, it could be culinary, it could be media, it could be whatever it is that you're getting into. Just you have to respect the craft enough to learn and to try to be a pupil to someone else, and hopefully you can just try to grasp that early and quick. Because if you try, I didn't try to do it my own way. I really respected the people that were teaching me and training me. I respected the chefs, the guys that were treated at the time. The trainers I had were guys who were cooking for over 20 to 30 years, and I had my notebook, I had my pen out every day, taking notes. Sometimes I had my camera out, my video, taking videos from whether it's culinary school or whether it's abroad. I really try to hone everything in because I knew the vision I had for myself. So just respecting your craft, respecting what you do, try to learn, be a student, be willing to take advice and be willing to, take criticism, which is so rare nowadays with a lot of people that I'm training or that I'm trying to teach. Not everyone takes that very well, and they get offended when you try to correct them. But in the culinary world, that's how most of the chefs are. They yell at you, they tell you all kind of stuff, and you have to pretty much own up. And if you suck at it, you suck at it, and you need to get better. And that's the kind of training I had. So just respecting the craft and learning from the people, and I still have notes to this day that I've had from years ago that I go back to at times, because I knew for my path I wanted to kind of create my own lane. And even with the menu I created, now is pretty much a journey of my culinary journey and the path that I had. So I try to do Asian, Spanish, Caribbean fusion, and these are all the food that I love, and these are food that I was trained at. So,
and I promise you will love them as well. It's 1238 High Park Ave, River Street in High Park. We have Stephen M. Wilson saying the best in the business. Zaz is the truth. V from Tennessee. That is a great point.
Steven,
Surround yourself with people who are doing what you love. Always good to hear Chef has traveled. Authentic flavors with fresh ingredients. I'd love to get in there to order up. Stephen said, this is how you improve your community. It's spend your black dollar with black-owned businesses over and over and over again. B from
Steve,
Tennessee said, barbecue chili jerk chicken, two of my favorite, barbecue and jerk. Okay, now. Spice said, Big Bro 473. I don't know what that means.
That's my boy. So that made me give a shout out to Spice. That's my big brother right there. So there's a few guys I call my brothers, and we're not blood related, but like loyalty and just everything that they help me with. So Andre, which is Spice, Matthew from Grenada, much love, man. That's big bro right there. My little bro is Henry or CP. That's my little bro, and all my staff. Tellison, Carrie. See now I gotta.
You gotta big up everybody, because everybody in there works hard for you.
Yeah, everyone.
They treat your customers with respect.
Jazz, everyone. All my workers, I appreciate them. But just people like Spice. Like Spice helped me. He helped me from the beginning with just my construction. Hit him up too, by the way. Is 617-293-6.
Is he paying? He's paying for promotions?
No, he's not paying for promotions, but he's if I can remember his number now, but he's one of the best out there in what he does.
In construction?
In construction, amazing.
You don't have to give his number. You can give him my number, and then we can talk about that at a later date.
Okay. So no plug for Spice. I'm sorry.
Spice, I got you though. You can call me. I got you. Stephanie said that this foodie approves. It's the best in town. Zaz Restaurant in Hyde Park. Please stop by. B from Tennessee said, we have to be aware of the seedless fruits and vegetables. Thanks to Monsanto. Great words of advice. Thumbs up for reaching back and training others.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I think this, even on my platform, like yourself, people are showing love. Anna is huge in just her promotion, all her love that she be going relentless for Zaz, and we gonna be chopping it up soon. We got some stuff working on as well. But Anna, all the Mavens, appreciate the love, man. And we get like I said, the numbers don't lie, and we see the growth. We see the numbers, people. It's overwhelming how well we're doing, and I'm grateful. I really am, because I know where I came from. I know the island I grew up in, and a lot of my people back home, and a lot of people see my Instagram and stuff, and they always try to reach out to show love, and I appreciate that. I'm the type, like, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget the days where we trying to fight to get a visa to come to this country. And
what country? What island?
Grenada. I was born in Grenada. I got ties in Trinidad as well. I got my mom's family's from Trinidad. My parents grew up born in Grenada. So, Trinidad and Grenada we represent. But Grenada is really my home, and we came a long way. So now even with all the accolades and everything that we have, we always look back and just in gratitude. And to all the fans though, for real, like we have some loyal fans, people that come like 3, 4 times a week. Some people come twice a day, and like that's to me that's like that's humbling right there. When you see someone come back, like someone may come for brunch or early breakfast, and they may come back for dinner. Um, Even the police officers that are in the area over there in Hyde
Shout out
Park,
to the
shout
Pogo.
out to all the cops and the firefighters, and we have a few salons on the street. So a lot of even the clients from the salons that come through, just everyone, man. We appreciate the love, and we can't do without you. That's why we're working on this other venture now, and we're trying to do bigger things. And my thing is to just to inspire people too. Like I switched my profession like total 180. Like I was doing pretty well doing the welding.
Being a foreman.
Being a foreman, I was comfortable. I was pretty much I could retire doing that. My old job, they were like they still wanted me to be there. So making that switch at a time, sometimes you have to just jump, take that jump, take that leap, and believe in what you're doing, and not allow, like I said, sometimes people may not always have the positive things to say, or they may not always be rooting for you, but that battle is between you and within you. So not allow people to just deter you from your vision. So Miss Taylor over there, Miss MC Taylor, what are you doing? You looking at something?
I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to say thank you to our sponsors, to say thank you to you for coming in today, because I know right now you could be out grabbing what you need.
No,
today's Monday. Today's what off.
Today I would have, but Mondays is my sleep until like 8 or 9, and that's actually by me sleeping in. That's so early. Like I don't really always sleep, and I'm an early riser. I get like 4 hours sleep a night. I'm up late.
You're a creative person. That's what we usually do.
Yeah, my brain is always, I can't sleep. I'm always either writing down. I'm starting to get into more writing now, so I'm writing a lot of my thoughts down and my recipes and just write stuff down. I feel like it's beneficial now for me. A lot of my little quotes I write down, or even if I hear someone say something that I admire, I try to write it down now. So I don't get much sleep. So by me even saying I sleep till 8 or 9. Sometimes I wake up like 9, I feel like I did something wrong. Like,
wasted
oh my
the
gosh,
day away.
Yeah, I'm like, dang, like I could be doing something productive right now.
Well, I thank you, Ari. Please tell us, how do we find you? How can we connect with you? Catering information, all that.
So it's 1238 River Street in Hyde Park. 1238 River Street, Hyde Park. The catering menu or the catering email is zaz.hydepark@gmail.com. So zaz.hydepark@gmail.com. The telephone number is 617-276-3729. 617-276-3729. Just hit us up. Instagram, you see a lot of pictures. We do a lot of Instagram pictures and posts. A lot of updates on there as well. Zaz Restaurant @Zaz Restaurant, and on Facebook is Zaz Restaurant and Catering. And we here, man. We appreciate the love. And like I said, every platform that I have, I want to be grateful for it, because I know yourself, you're pretty known in the city, and you do your thing. We have a local celebrities that show love to Zaz. We got the Taylor Andres, Anna Maven. We got some people that come in there. A couple of DJs from here. So we appreciate the platforms, man, because you guys reach out to the places that we can't always reach out to. So when you do your little feeds, you come into my kitchen when I'm cooking, and you do your live feeds, and you walk in there, you distract my staff, and you want to put them on.
Why are you snitching though? You are straight snitching right now.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it though, for real.
And I appreciate you. If you want to know what any of my favorites are, on Friday, I love the shrimp and lobster macaroni and cheese. Recently added to the menu is the chicken macaroni and cheese. My favorite is the basil fried rice. You can get it with chicken. You can get it with shrimp.
We're gonna add lobster soon as well.
They're gonna add lobster. I like the basil fried rice by itself. I don't need any meat. I like the rice just the way
A
it
lot of
is.
veggies, yeah, bok choy. We got bok choy, broccoli, carrots.
It's
peppers.
amazing.
It's a lot of flavor.
And then it comes with this sauce that just tastes like heaven. The sauce that he was talking about, the guy was like, "Can I have a whole gallon of it?" And when I first started with the salmon.
Well, you started with, I think we started with the wrap, right? Was it the wrap?
Yeah, I started with the wrap, but that's for the babies. That's for the intros. You guys step your game up. Well, hold on. It was a Thai.
The Asian wrap.
Yeah, the Thai Asian wrap,
The
right?
Asian wrap. Yeah, the Asian wrap. That was actually a bestseller for like a year straight.
That's amazing too. But if you want to step your game up, you have to get the the jerk salmon wrap.
Yeah, the jerk salmon wrap.
That was so dope.
Yeah. That's the thing. We appreciate having different options on the menu, to where like you don't come in. Sometimes you come in and you like try to figure out what to choose. You know, and that's the feeling we want to have. You would have when you walk in.
When you want 7 different items, but you know that your stomach can only fit half of one.
Basically. But people, before they just don't remain complacent and just whatever your path may be, like whatever you want to do. And not everyone is meant to be a boss or an entrepreneur. I have a hard time saying that word with my accent.
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur, yeah. Whatever you want to be, man. Not everyone is meant to be that, but just be the best and don't settle. Don't be complacent, because a lot of times that's like the enemy of great. When you're complacent. If you want to be great, if you want to achieve anything, you gotta be relentless. You gotta be persistent. All those things that people say, but like when it's just you and yourself, just sitting there and you having to wake up early, you're having to stay up late. You just have to fight that inner self and push yourself. I feel like a lot of time we limit ourselves. We don't allow our mind, our brain, or this capacity to be at our highest, and we settle. And for me, like even if Zaz didn't work, like I said, Submez would have, because that's just the kind of person I am.
Well, you know what? I woke up with something on my spirit today, and you guided me to say, if you're not growing, you're dying. When you take a look at a plant, if the plant isn't growing new leaves every single day, it's dying. It's wilting away. If you're not growing, you're dying. And that's in all aspects of your life, whether it's your business, whether it's your family, whether it's your relationship, no matter what it is. If you are not growing, you're dying.
Yeah.
So make some different choices. Move forward. Let's grow together. Big City 101.3 FM. Waking Up with Taylor Andre. Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. Thank you, Zaz Restaurant, 1238 River Street in Hyde Park. I'll be there tomorrow to go get me a barbecue chili jerk. What I said is wrong.
But also, people. So there's a couple of things before I leave. So we trying to do this other venture. We need a location. So I'm gonna just put the plug out. Hit me up, 617-792-4939. Hit me up. The location has to be right.
What's the number?
617-792-4939. That's my cell phone. It's everywhere, so it doesn't really matter. So 792-4939. We need a location for 2 things. For the 5th anniversary that we're trying to do.
The mansion party.
It's gonna be special. We're trying to have some incredible guests and everything. It's gonna be great. We already have the layout. We just need a location, and also a location for the next
venture.
So if you have a location in mind that you feel like we can fit in, it may be a different entity. Like I said, it may not be Zaz's name, but I'll be doing the thing. So with my couple partners I'm working with. All right. So just appreciate the love. Thank you, Taylor.
All the time.
We love
Thank you for my hat.
Yeah, she got a hat.
I can now rep now.
That hat though is special. So if you have that hat, we provide specials like once a month. So you come in with that hat on, you get half off.
How can I buy a hat?
So you can come to our Zaz. We have the hats at Zaz. So it's $30 for the hats.
And get you half price.
It's worth it. So
once a month.
We be doing we'd be doing the full week, all week, half off if you have the hat on representing. And we also going to start doing like on Instagram. If you post or tag pictures, we're going to give you a discount as well. So show your love, people.
So hold on, let me go get my discount on real quick. Big City 101.3 FM, waking up with Taylor on Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. I thank you, I love you, I appreciate you. If you're not growing, you're dying, baby. So I hope every single last one of you are growing.
Preach.
Sus won the feature presentation. Listen, make sure you wake up with Taylor Andre Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. on Big City 101.3 FM. Wake up with the Radio Rebel.
Politics,
news, conspiracies.
Wake up your third
hour.
hour.
Unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. This is the type of stuff I'm into, alright? Make sure you tune in. Let's go.
So we have one more question, Ari. V from Tennessee wants to know, with your hands-on approach, would you consider a second location anywhere, or are you only focused on the current location? Like, as far as out of state or elsewhere?
Okay, good question. So
No. This is just for
This
this.
is just for the. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
So.
there you go.
What's that? V.
V from Tennessee.
Okay. So we, I'll consider location anywhere. I'm training right now. A couple people on me right now. I'm training. So I'll be trying to be more flexible, where I can, be more mobile and do other things. I've been at a location for.
You just want to go to vacation every week. That's all.
Yeah, no vacation. I don't have time for that. But so just anything in mind, just hit us up. Like I said, you can call me 617-792-4939, 617-792-4939, or hit me up on social media. All right, try and make moves. Thank you.
Aww, that's so sweet. So he got his on backwards.
You gotta show the crown though. You gotta show that crown.
I can't wait for the half price week. I'm gonna wear my hat all day. See if I can
Looks
get
good on you.
It does if my head wasn't weirdly shaped.
It's not well shaped, but you got the paper in it too. There's a paper in here.
No, I took it out.
Oh, you took it out. Okay.
Yes. Isn't he he's amazing. Look at this beard though. That's all face naturals. Oh, I didn't even give my sponsor's gonna kill me because we did not do no type. Look at it. Oh, scruff my guaf. That's face beard oil. It smells amazing. It has your beard nice and moisturized and shiny. And Zaz recently got a big package too. He got some oils in it, some scrubs in it. So make sure you get you some face naturals, everything. And there's a buddy wash. Buddy, and a pum pum. Buddy, and a pum pum. Go get you the buddy wash for the men. It comes in a blue bottle. And the pum pum wash for the women comes in a purple bottle. One of our listeners recently purchased the deodorant for her son, who is on the football team. And we're gonna go ahead and find out how that worked out. I'm really excited because Anari's on this thing where he feels like he could put it on today and it'll last him until Friday. Like, he lives by this deodorant. Talk about some, Mom, I don't need to put it on every day. I don't have to. I was like, hold on, but did you bathe? He was like, yes, I bathed. So you washed it off. It doesn't matter. I don't have to. He lives by her products. Asaria lives by her products. She uses everything. She uses the tooth whitener like 6 times a day. She uses the face wash because she's going through her little girly things. So I love everything Face makes. Don't forget the cleaning crew, independentcleaningcrew.com. If you need your business cleaned, if you need your house cleaned. And she also has products if you want to go ahead and be green. Independent Cleaning Crew, let her take care of your event, your party, your home, whatever. If you have apartments and the apartment needs to be cleaned because you had nasty ass tenants before, she'll clean your apartment. She paints. She is like a handy woman. She has an all-purpose cleaner, a glass cleaner, a toilet balm, and a DeSoya Soffer scrub. Don't know what that means, but spearmint, myrrh are the scents. Orange, cinnamon, clove, lemongrass, verbena, and myrrh by itself. And don't forget, I will be at ZC Boston on Friday. Come tip your favorite bartender, and I promise we will get drunk together. I do take shots with my customers. I do.
You do bartending now too?
Oh, baby, I do
What else
everything.
you have? Oh
I do
my
everything.
gosh.
Don't nobody pay my bills. I got bills. I got student loans. Don't nobody pay nothing for me, so I have to bust my ass by all means necessary.
I didn't know you do. Where do you do it at? Where's that?
ZC Boston. It's Asian. You would really like it.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is the best sushi that I've ever had in the city.
Oh, wow. Where's that? Downtown?
It's 801 Mass Ave, and it's across from Boston Medical Center. So right next to the Cumberland Farms. I love you. We're going to Costa Rica in January.
Yeah, sure it's done at 7, right?
Yeah.
What's up, son?
Nails. Ari Nail. Have you ever been to that restaurant?
Of course I
Isn't it amazing?
What time do you order shows at? 7? Or 8?
Supposed to be 7, but you know everybody be dragging their feet on Mondays.
Yeah.
What's your favorite item from his restaurant?
I haven't been up there in a while, but I used to get them little salmon burgers, man.
Yes.
That was my thing for a minute.
Oh, is Val still here?
Yeah, he's on his way. He should be walking in the door